What's going on, guys? Lone Driver Mike again, bringing you another video. Guys, how's it hanging? Yep, Saturday lunch is slow, so I'm gonna make a freaking video for you guys. And today, guys, we're gonna talk about tracking your miles, deductions for tax time now. Yeah, so it's very important that you track your miles because, you can write off like your other stuff, like your gas receipts, and then you can also, but actually, you get more, you get a bigger write-off if you just do your miles. Now, I think there's like either an option where you can do your standard deduction or whatever, where you can like write off a lot of shit, or you could just do your miles. Or I think you could do miles and write off like certain oil changes and all that kind of stuff. But your biggest tax deduction is going to come from the actual miles, because you're driving all day. You know what I'm saying? Say you drive 100 miles or whatever. Like, you're getting like 53 cents. Every mile you drive, you get 53 cents off. So like on a good day, I'll get like anywhere from like 100 to 150 miles off. Well, like that's how much I drive, 100 to 150. Sometimes, if I go all over the place, I'll still hit my goal. I'll spend a little bit more for gas, but I'm hitting like, instead of like 100 or 150, I'm hitting like 200 miles a day, which is good. I mean, I'm not saying like, okay, waste all your gas and all this kind of stuff. But I mean, if you got to put in an extra $5 or whatever, or $10, to get like a bigger tax deduction, then do it. I mean, I work all day. I work downtown, but like, I'll still at least go like, 100. I'll drive at least 100 miles for a full day, or sometimes 150 miles. It just depends on what type of orders I get. Short distance, sometimes I'll take one kind of long, like going to West Sac. Sometimes I'll risk it going to West Sac. One day I went to West Sac. I risked it. I thought, okay, well, this is good pay, whatever the fuck, So I ended up taking it during the lunch rush. Excuse my French, but that completely fucked me over, because I was getting orders, but I had to wait. I had a Burger King order for Grubhub, and the manager was just a complete, excuse my French, but she was a complete bimbo. She just didn't know what the hell was going on. She ignored me. The workers were like trying to help me out, and she just kept telling them, just do what I told you, this and that. And it's like, dude, I gotta deliver this food still, man. Like, this order should have been done, So I was getting pissed. And I actually went back there again, Burger King for Grubhub in West Sac. And this second time, they're like, oh, our system's down. We can't do the order. You just have to cancel it. So twice they screwed me over. So from now on, I don't know if you guys are in Sacramento, but anytime you get a Burger King from West Sac, don't even do them. Like, it's just a waste of time. You know what I'm saying? Especially from Grubhub. Like, they don't get the order ready. They don't do anything. Their system's down, all this kind of stuff. Like, certain restaurants or fast food places or merchants, I just stay away from, because it's too much problems. It's a hassle. And that second time that I went there, I drove like 7 miles over there, and it wasn't even their system wasn't even made, like, it wasn't even like, it was down, or they said their Grubhub tablet was down, so they couldn't even make the order, and I wasted like 7 miles, so I was pretty pissed. So it's like, are you kidding me, man? So from now on, Burger King in West Sac, nope, I'm no longer doing those orders. But yeah, so it's very important to track your miles, because even if, you get ripped off, you don't get paid for those miles, or whatever the hell. Like, if you track your miles the whole time, like, you're getting the maximum deduction for your taxes. So, like the other day, I drove like 150 miles, and like my tax deduction for the day was like 83 or 85 bucks. So like, let's just say for example, I only made like 100 bucks for the day, which is BS, because if I'm driving that many miles and I do a full day, typically I'll make about 200. Okay, so usually about 200. And let's say I can write off like $80. So you subtract $80. So then I think how it goes is the only money they can tax me off is the $120. You know what I'm saying? And then if you do like 25% of 120, that's like 30, 1, 2, 3, yeah, that's like 30 bucks. So then like for the whole day, I only have to pay them like $30 for taxes out of the 200 and something dollars that I made, you know, because you subtract the $80 from what you made, right? And then that leftover money is what they can tax you on, you know what I'm saying? And if you make like a certain amount or less than, you know what I'm saying? If you don't make that much and your tax deduction is bigger than what you made or whatever the heck, then they actually owe you money. So it's actually very important that you track your miles. The app that I use is called Stride Tax. So it's very simple. It's very easy. So basically, before you start your shift, you just go to Stride. You have to actually click it. It's not automatic. Now there are some. I think I used one called Mile IQ. I don't really like that one. Stride Tax is very good. Like they calculate the miles, they save the receipts. Like it's good. Like, and Stride Tax is actually approved by the IRS or whatever. Like if you show the IRS this and you do your taxes from that, they trust that app or whatever, and they take your word for it. But just in case they try to do some funny business on you, like always save your gas receipts. But it's not needed. As long as you track your miles and you have an app doing it, then like they'll trust that. But like if you write in like, oh, I went 200 miles, you know, they might say, well, we don't believe you. But if you have an app tracking it, then I mean that's all electronic, that's digital, you know, it's in an app, you could see it, and then you could see like it actually shows you like where you went. There's like a green line, it'll show you like, oh, you went downtown, you went over here, you went over there. So like it tracks like your every location. So like there's no BS. It's like, oh look, I'm not lying to you. This is how many miles I drove this day, that day, that day. And I think you can manually put it in. Like say you forgot like all those months. You know, you can put like at least 100 miles, you know, and then say whatever. I mean, I don't know. I mean, that's what I heard, that you can track, that you can actually enter in the miles. So it's very important that you track your miles, because if you are doing Uber or Lyft or food delivery like Grubhub, Doordash, Postmates, Uber Eats, it's very important that you track your miles, because when it comes down to tax time, you're going to have to owe that money. Like, I'm sorry, but you're going to have to owe it. Like, I haven't been doing it, but now that I'm doing it, and now I'm more alert, I'm getting my tax papers together, and I'm going to file soon, and, you know, and if you don't file, you get penalized or whatever. But then, like, if you don't have the money, right, let's say you file and you don't have the money, then that's really not good. So, if you owe money to the IRS and like you don't have any money to give them, that's actually really bad. It's better than, that's worse than not even filing and waiting a lot of years. Like you should at least save a good chunk of money and then file and kind of like do a rough ballpark, like what will I owe them? Like go to a tax guy, say, okay, this is what I made for the year and all this kind of stuff, you know. But like if you actually if you track your miles, you will owe a lot less. Like, you know, let's say, for example, you owe them like, let's say like 6,000 or 10,000, right? If you track your miles, you're gonna cut that tax bill in half, like pretty much half or more than half. You know what I'm saying? So, I hate downtown. I can't see. So it's very important that you track your miles. Like I said, sometimes they change like the tax deduction on the miles. It used to be higher, like 60 cents, I think, but right now it's 53 cents a mile, which is actually still really good. So I mean, like I said, I'm getting anywhere from like $50 off to like $100 off every day, because I'm like tracking every mile that I drive. So it's really good. Remember guys, you get 53 cents off every mile. So what you want to do is download the Stride Tax app, and I'm gonna put that link below. What you do is, I got a question from someone that, oh, after every order, are you supposed to like start it and then end it, start it and then end it? No, don't do that, because if you're going to work 12 hours a day, or let's just say 5 hours, you want to track every mile. Even if like right now I'm like making a video, this is still part of my job. Like this is still part of my business. Like YouTube, that's like my second income. I mean, not really, because I'm not making money, but it is part of my business. You know what I'm saying? And you can claim that. Like if you do YouTube videos and you make like and you buy like a camera or a camera or a camcorder or something to make videos, then you can write that off. Like anything you can write off on your taxes, do it, because that's what the rich are doing, and they're smart, like, and also I've heard, like, the more you make, the less you pay in taxes. So like that's what I'm trying to make as much as I can every week. I'm trying to keep my receipts. I'm trying to track my miles, and like that's how you do it. You know what I'm saying? And sometimes, like, let's say you do this part-time, there might be some incidences where like they actually owe you money. Let's say you have a child, or you have another full-time job, and you do this full-time. Like sometimes it'll work out to where they still owe you money. You know what I'm saying? But if you do this full-time, like Doordash, Grubhub, Uber, Lyft, if you do this full time and you make decent money, I mean, most likely you're gonna have to pay them something, you know what I'm saying? So you might as well track your miles, you know what I'm saying? You might as well track your miles and cut your bill in half, because that's gonna suck if you owe them, like, because they pretty much, let's just think of it this way. You take your income and just take 25%, right? That's what you'll owe them. Without tracking anything. So let's just say, I don't know, let's just say you do this full time, right? $5,000 a month. I can actually make about $5,000 a month. So let's just say, for example, I don't fuck around the whole year. Let's just say, for example, so 5,000 times 12 is 60,000. So 60,000, right? 25%. Wait. No, it's 15. Okay. So the most I would have to owe them every year is about 15,000, right? Now, if you do your taxes, if you track your miles, I'll probably pay about half of that. So I might have to pay them like, maybe 7,000 a year. You know what I'm saying? So the most a full-time person is gonna pay is like 7,000. 7,000 a year. But if you do this part-time and you don't make that much, you're not going to pay that much at all. You might not even have to pay them anything, you know what I'm saying? But someone like me, who's doing this every day, every week, I mean, a lot of years I didn't do this full-time, and I did it part-time, so I probably, in the long run, I probably don't owe them that much. But I still owe them. Like, I know it's in the thousands. It's not just a few $100. So, I mean, when I do file my taxes, when I have the money, I'll file and do it right. But all those years, I wasn't tracking my miles, so I'm going to have to pay them the maximum amount, 25%, maybe 30% of what I made all those years. So that kind of sucks. So I didn't file for like 3 years, so I mean, hey, it is what it is. But now I'm doing it, and now this year I should be able to write off all my miles, and this year should be fine. I should be able to, and then, like, I'll just file the other years later or something, I don't know. Like that, I mean, IRS understands. Like, if you don't have the money, you forgot to file, you just say, okay, look, I'm an Uber driver, Lyft driver, I didn't file all these years, I don't know how it goes, I'm sorry. If I owe you money, that's fine, I pay you every month, whatever it is, like, I'm sorry, whatever. And you just say sorry and say, okay, I didn't have this app, I wasn't tracking my miles, or whatever. That's all you say. You know what I'm saying? That's all you can do. I mean, they're not gonna, like, throw you in prison. I mean, they can, actually. You know what I'm saying? But they go after people like that owe millions of dollars and do some that do tax fraud and do all this kind of weird shit. I mean, if you're just like the average Joe and you're like, oh, I forgot to file, I'm sorry, like, whatever. But before you file, at least have some kind of money that you can give them. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm going to have at least 5 or 10,000 because I know I'm going to owe them like at least 10,000 or more. You know what I'm saying? So if I file now and I have no money, they're going to say, what the fuck? You don't have no money to pay us? You know what I'm saying? And that looks really bad. So if you do owe the government money, just wait. You know what I'm saying? They're not going to come after you. They don't, you know what I'm saying? They might send you a notice like, you didn't file this year, or, oh, don't forget to file. You forgot the last 2 years or something. But that's it. You don't have to, you know what I'm saying? They're not going to go after you and find where you live. And they're not going to do all that. Believe me. I mean, maybe after like 5 years of not filing your taxes, yeah, they might say, okay, what's up with this guy, He's making all this money, he hasn't filed, or what's going on? I mean, I'm sure you can miss, like I missed like 3 years or something, so that's understandable. Next year, I'll probably like let them know, like, hey, I'm sorry, let me sit down with you guys and talk about what I owe or whatever. I mean, they're understanding people, but I mean, taxes is taxes. Like, you have to you have to pay them. So in the long run, it's best to download. The app that I use is Stride Health. You can track all your miles. I'm tracking them as we speak because I am working. I'm making a video. YouTube is like my other business, online business. So I mean, I'm tracking my miles as we speak because this is part of my online business. You know, YouTube and all that kind of stuff, helping you guys out. This is part of my business, so I can write off all these miles. I'm driving around wasting a little bit of gas, but I'm tracking these miles and I'm getting a tax write-off. You know what I'm saying? So, like I said, it's very important that you write off your tax, get some tax deductions, and the best one you can do is your miles. So, the best thing to do is to download the app. I'm gonna send it in the link below. And yeah, like you get 53 cents a mile. So if you work every day, and even if you're like going to work at your regular job, you can actually turn that on too. Like if you have another job, or let's say you're going to meet a friend and you want to get them to sign up with Doordash, that's considered a business meeting. So that's considered part of your job. That's considered like, okay, this is a business. These are business miles because I'm going to meet up with my friend. We're going to talk about Doordash. He might want to sign up, you know. And say you're going for lunch, that's like a business lunch. So you can actually write off that business lunch. You know, say you paid for his lunch or whatever. You want to talk to him about Doordash, probably signing him up. You can actually write that off too. So there are a lot of things you can write off. I mean, if you have a tax guy, it's best to you know, go to H&R Block, get familiar with the tax guy, have a tax guy on speed dial, get familiar, get friendly with the guy, and you know, he'll tell you like, yeah, this is the best way to file your taxes, or you know, this is the app that I use, or yeah, this is what you can do, this is what you can't do. You know, it's very important to have a tax guy because you want to go to someone you trust, they know what they're doing, and you know, someone that can file your taxes for you for a cheap deal or whatever, and they could just straight out answer you. Like if you have a tax question, they could just answer your question like, oh yeah Bob, don't worry, like what's your question, you know what I'm saying? You want someone like that, you know what I'm saying? I don't have someone like that right now, but down the road, yeah, I'm gonna have to find someone, you know what I'm saying, that I can talk to and tell them, okay, all these years I didn't file, what do you think I'll owe them? I mean, I know I owe them at least 10,000 for sure. You know what I'm saying? But it's very important, like I said, to track your miles. If you're not tracking your miles already, it's better late than never because, you know what I'm saying? Maybe all those years you didn't track your miles, and now you're finally like, okay, I want to track my miles now, so do it. I mean, the sooner the better, you know what I'm saying? So, like I said, download this app. It's called Stride Tax. It tracks all your miles. It's very cool. It's got a lot of cool features. So I mean, I recommend it. So yeah. So like I said, when it comes to tax time, you're gonna need an app that tracks all your miles. You're gonna want to save your receipts. Yeah, and that's just how you have to do it, guys. Because in the long run, if you don't pay your taxes, I mean, they'll get you. They're gonna come for you eventually. Maybe not now. Maybe not in 2 or 3 or 4 or 5 years. Maybe in 6, 7 years, they're gonna say, okay, this guy owes us money, let's take his car, they can take your license, they can take a lot of stuff from you. They can take your property. If you own a car, if it's in your name, they can take that. If you own a house, they can take that. So I mean, you really don't want to fuck around with the government. I mean, you really don't. I mean, they're understandable, you know, the average Joe, they don't fuck with you too much, but if you don't file your taxes in like 5 years or more than that, then they're gonna say, okay man, you're neglecting us, you need to pay us, you know what I'm saying? And there's some debate whether, you know, well, filing taxes is against the law and it's voluntary. So I mean, there's also that. You can also bet on that, like, oh well, I'm not gonna pay him because I believe in this and that. But whatever. I mean, they can get you eventually. So I mean, whatever you have to do, track your miles, protect yourself. You know what I'm saying? And yeah, because when you're your own boss, you have to file your own taxes and you have to pay the government. Like, that's just how it is. Like, there's no avoiding it. You can avoid it for a few years probably and you'll be fine, you know, but in the long run, they're gonna get you. Like, and if you don't pay or whatever, you don't make a plan with them, you keep avoiding them, I mean, they have the power to throw you in jail. I mean, that's how it is. They're the government. You cannot just ignore them all these years and, you know, So I already called them, and I told them I was gonna file soon, but I told them I don't have the money yet. So they said that's fine, but you know, maybe next year or the year after, you need to file, because you know you gotta pay us and all this. And I said that's fine. So you know what I'm saying. So they're understanding people, but like I said, like, they're the government and they need their money. So it's best to track your miles and get $50 off a day, or $100 off a day, or however many miles. When I did Uber and Lyft, I was going like 400 miles. I mean, I should go back to Uber and Lyft and just track those. I was going to the Bay Area. I was driving at least 300 or 400 miles a day. So I mean, that's a lot. But anyways, guys, I'm gonna shut up now. I'm gonna get back to work. Download that app. I'm gonna put the link below. Stride Tax. It's very good. It tracks everything. It's a very cool app. It's going to be good for tax time. But anyways, please like, comment, and subscribe. And guys, until next time, thank you for your support. Thanks for subscribing. Subscribe if you haven't already. Please like this video. Please comment. Please share. And yeah, that's it, guys. Thanks for watching. Adios, and see you later.